Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a painting stream. I'm going to paint something a bit weird today. This is a little bit ad hoc today because I didn't think I'd be able to stream, to be honest. But my move has been delayed, which means I can squeeze in an extra bonus one. Unfortunately, I definitely won't be able to next week though, because I won't have any internet. So what we're actually working on today is something a little bit different. What I've got is this. I don't know when it's going to come out on the stream. Now, this was part of a collector's edition for a video game called Iron Harvest. And it came with a ginormous metal mech. That's a big old hunk of metal. And what I've been asked to do is replicate this. So hopefully you guys can see this. This is what we're building, this guy here. And we're going to try and replicate this kind of colour scheme. Let me zoom out a little touch, because this is the concept art for it, on this hunking metal model. Now, it was an absolute bastard to build because I don't think it was really designed for what we're doing with it. So there's so much filler in there and it weighs a ton. So this is going to be an interesting job. There's another picture there that which looks quite good, I think. Zoom right in on that. So this is what we're building and this is how we want it to look. So it's quite weathered, which is pretty good because it means we can paint it quickly. So we crack on with it. As always, let me know if the sound is working fine. Let me know if something's too loud or not loud enough. And let me know if you can see things or if I've managed to drift out of focus again, like I have a habit of doing. So here's the model. I've primed it Chaos Black. And I'm going to just work on... I'm hoping to either dry brush and stipple this whole thing. Yeah, it kind of is a bit of a diesel punk sort of idea. So it was like Alternate History was a video game. It's a strategy game. It's pretty cool. And the collector's edition came with a miniature, but it's an interesting one. So who have I got in the chat at the moment? Welcome Miguel, welcome Tactical Melon, and welcome BA Commander. So I'm also limited on equipment, that's why I've got to use the headphones. I haven't got a wet palette, I've just got a dry one. Let's see how we get on. Hey Stephen. Iron Harvest has some cool mechs. Yeah, it does. They're really cool models, actually. I also don't have my little vortex mixer either, so I've got to do it the old-fashioned way. So I'm going to start referring back to that artwork with all of the bodywork. I'm just going to stipple with some green. I'm going to use a fairly big brush. This is my, I don't know, size something or other, medium, from Artis Opus. Water on the moistening pad. Right, so I'm just going to stipple it. And we'll start seeing how it looks. over the last week I've become a huge fan of Iron Jaws Yellow and Imperial Fist Yellow. Not sure if you saw my yellow Incursor helmets in the Discord, inspired by BAC of course. Yeah, I did actually, and they do look good. I've got the Imperial Fist Yellow and I do like it. I haven't picked up the Iron Jaws Yellow yet, but actually I was looking at your pictures of your fists and your Incursors, and I'm very tempted to pick up that Iron Jaws Yellow as well. I think I'm in the minority, and I quite like the old Iandan Yellow from the older contrast paints. I use that quite a lot. So I'm just using this colour just on all of these kind of flat panels. It's supposed to be green, just building in a little bit. Now we're using a stippling technique because I want a bit of texture on this. This needs to look really worn and, you know, kind of, it's been on the battlefield for a long time. It wasn't very well made to begin with. So we're going to put a lot of weathering on this. We're going to put a lot of rust and chipping. And I don't really want much colour left over. Looking at that art, there's almost no colour at all, and the model is almost entirely kind of silvers and greys and rust, basically. And that's kind of the look that we want to build up for this. Miguel, I as of yet have never used yellow. I assume you mean the contrast yellow, or do you just avoid yellow full stop? I know some people use a kind of ochre colour because it covers better when they need to paint yellow, and that can work quite well. Stephen S. Yes, I used Iandan and Iron Jaws first as a mix, so they got the shade down. The Imperial Fist brightens up the flat surfaces. Nice. Never used any yellow, just made good matte. Fair enough. I like a bit of yellow. I enjoyed painting up a Lamenter's kill team a couple of years ago. That was quite fun. Crotch plate. Right, now we've got a bit of yellow on, green on there. We've got yellow on the brain now. I want to start building in some more, some brown. Syntax error, welcome. The heck is that thing? This is called let me find the box for it. It is a PZM Smiali model kit from Iron Harvest, which is a video game that I've been asked to paint up for someone who's a massive fan of the game. And you know me, I like painting something a bit mad. So this is Reaper Black and Brown, and we're going to use this for the little bit of the wooden stock. So still on my glass palette here. Still with the same brush, I haven't even cleaned it properly. And I'm just doing exactly the same as I did on the green, with a bit of brown. Nippling it in there. I'm not being too neat, because we don't need to be for the way we're going to paint this. Beautiful. I don't know what I'm going to do with the base yet. That's something to work out in a minute. In contrast to the green, which I'm going to dull down so it's almost not there, the brown I want to lighten, so while that's drying we're going to use a brighter brown. This is another Reaper one, and it's ruddy leather, so it's a little bit of a reddish tone to it. These Reaper browns I quite like. They've got really good coverage. This darker one I was using a minute ago reminds me a lot of Rhinox hide, but with a bit smoother. Quite fun doing something that's not Warhammer for a change. And also, this is a display piece, but we're going to try and do it in a couple of hours. I don't think I will, because I don't think I'm going to get the base done, but see how far we can get. And then lastly, I'm going to use this colour, which is Thar Brown. So it's almost a kind of ivory colour. Cool painting setup, looks like John's. It is a little bit like John's because I copied it in some ways, not completely. We've got different cameras and I use a different mic setup. Brush for this on a slightly smaller one. And this one we're going to much closer to almost dry brushing, so I'm just going to work some into the brush. The brown as well. You might like the MAK mechs, they're kind of like this guy. Yeah, I've not come across those before. So this is a bit closer to dry brushing what I'm doing now, and I'm just adding a bit of interest into this wood, and I want it to look old and not very well maintained. Jason Trump, glass palette, very nice. Yeah, I don't use it very often. I normally use it for oils, but because I haven't got my wet palette at the moment, that's what we're using. Because it's packed in a, to be honest, everything's packed in a box, which is why I'm using headphones and that today. I was hoping to move, but it's unfortunately been delayed for a week, which means well, not quite a week. I'm moving on Friday now, but I also won't have any internet for a stream next week, so this will be the last one for a couple of weeks or so. Okay, so that's looking all right. Let's see if we can Start getting some metallics on here. This is what I'm looking forward to. So I'm going to take my Scale 75 black metal, which is kind of my favourite dark metal colour. Shake it because my vortex mixer is packed. And then we're going to start building in a load of this kind of gunmetal colour. The really fun bit is when we start putting rust and that on it, which there's going to be a lot of. You know, I'm not being all that neat because I don't care. I kind of want this to bleed over into all the other sections. By the time we're finished, I want it to look like there's almost no paint left on it. And it's all kind of worn off over years of being used. Which is quite liberating really, because I really don't need to be, in fact I don't want to be neat. I'm using a massive brush, admittedly not my biggest brush, but it's certainly one of them. I'm just doing all this trim. The trim, all the mechanical parts. I'm doing a kind of combination heavy dry brush and stipple. That wood in there. Of silver. Brush. What's everybody else painting tonight? Anything interesting? Or is it just me painting mad shit tonight? Let's go and focus a little bit of that. painting some Terminators. I think it needs Cataphracti mixed with Blood Angels kit Terminators. Oh, that could be quite cool looking. So like putting all the blood drops and that on the Cataphractis, or going a bit harder than that and really mixing and matching. I don't know how compatible those two kits are. It sounds weird, but the Cataphracti is a much younger kit than the Indomitus pattern ones, the Blie ones are based on. In mixing and matching the bodies and blood drop things, I prefer the Cataphracti. I'll get the name right to save my life. Arms and legs. Yeah? I love Cataphracti Terminators actually. I'm really looking forward to building my Age of Darkness set. I've been playing Warhammer for a very long time and I'm a sucker for nostalgia. This is like the absolute opposite to my normal painting style. Normally I'm all about careful, clean, bright colours, and this is just moody as all hell. Dirty, warm, scruffy. Music stopped. Got to go have a 10k to run. Bloody hell. Yeah, good luck, mate. Evening, Maverick. Lovely to see you here. Why's the music stopped? Is it ridiculously hot everywhere? Because I am cooking at the moment here. I'm just waiting for my cameras to start overheating again. I've had to use the potato cam for my face cam these days because I used to use a GoPro and it just overheats. There with this. Right, let's start bringing in some brighter colours as well. I can't believe Miguel's running a 10k. I enjoyed painting that Tech Marine, painting the Vindicare now because why not? Why not indeed? I haven't started my, I take it you mean the Warhammer Plus Vindicare, Mav. I haven't started mine, I'm looking forward to it, but with the house move I've got all sorts of little bits and pieces going on. I was rummaging through boxes earlier to find paint. I'm using a brighter silver here now. This is going to look a bit crap, this bright silver, but it's okay because I'm going to dull it right down again. I just want to take the highlights a little bit further than I normally would, so that when I dull it down, it still reads nice and metallic. No, the original one. When you say the original one, do you mean the guy that's holding his guns up like that, or the metal guy standing on a skull? Or do you mean the newer plastic kit with some like ruins in? Because I've got all of those kits and I love them all. The Vindicare Assassin is just so cool. Never filled him, but he is just so cool. I've missed a bit. Should have done the label. Newer plastic one. Oh, cool. So the current one. That's also a cool model. I got all of my modern plastic assassins out of a box game that GW made a while ago called Assassination Force, which was really cool because it had some like awesome Chaos Space Marine models in it, and it was like Chaos Space Marines versus assassins. You had to kill the warlord. The lore and the model are awesome. Yeah, they are. Absolutely agree with that. I've played him twice, didn't do a thing. No, I don't think I've ever killed anything with him. But I play them all the time. I don't know if you saw the other day when John did a army list review and he was slagging off my Caladius. But I don't care. My Caladius I've painted so that she looks like... Caladius? No, Calidus. Yeah, Caladius. I've painted her so she looks like Deadpool. And she's got such a reputation of like jiggery pokery, like the Reign of Confusion rule, that people put a lot of weight on her and a lot of worry. They don't use their strats and all this sort of thing. I don't think she's ever killed... That's not true. She once killed one of those Corvus Black Stars with her pistol and then it exploded, killed my Tech Marine, the opponent's Tech Marine, half a dozen Vanguard veterans. It did more damage with that exploding Corvus than I think that she did for every other game combined. I like assassins, I think they're cool. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty worn, isn't it? Right, let's clean off that brush a bit. How are we doing for time? Oh, I've got loads of time. We are flying today. Right, okay. So, start some more in there. Now I want to put a bit of colour in there. So in the book, which which I'll get out again. There it is. Best assassin I've played is Eversaw. When it works, he can mint stuff. Yeah, and Eddie the Eversaw is always fun to put on the table as well. Right, so here's our book and here's our art. Now, I don't know what it's coming across, but in the art, this like chest logo thingy is got a red background. So we're going to paint that in. Let's grab some brushes. Like Death Company scares your opponent. Yeah, which I think is half the battle. So, I nearly bought some paint the other day. I was looking at some of the golden whoa! Wasn't expecting that. Lid fell off. I was looking at some of the golden So-Flat range of paint. And I was very nearly buying it until I realised the thing about colours like cadmium yellow, which seems to have a lovely finish, is it contains cadmium, and I don't know that I can trust myself to buy a paint containing cadmium and not lick my brush. It's the same with I think they're grey, so they've got a lovely grey colour, but it contains actual lead. And again, I think that as someone who, well, quite obviously licks their brushes a lot, I might die. Or at least get lead poisoning and then go mental. So I've realised that I can't really buy that whole range of paint. Well, certainly a lot of it, because of the heavy metals. I know it's aimed really at fine artists, and maybe the fine art people don't lick their brushes, but I don't think I'd trust myself. At least all these acrylic paints that I'm using are all non-toxic. I did check. Have you tried any of the new contrast paints yet, Tony? Yeah, I've got a couple of them. Carandus or Striking Scorpion, whatever it is. The Scorpion green one is beautiful. I love it. I used it on that Yarrick model I built. It gives a really nice, vibrant colour. Bile Red is great if you want to do kind of a one coat, especially through the airbrush, one coat bright second edition red kind of Blood Angels, because it's got that serious saturation. And I think it's single pigment as well, so it doesn't do anything weird when you mix it. But it doesn't do that contrasty thing, you know, with the dark and the light, which is great because I don't like that. It's almost like an ink. The Imperial Fist is a nice colour, it's very saturated. It does still have the same problem that most yellows have got, where if you put them over anything that's not pure white, especially anything with kind of black in it, it goes a really nasty green colour. So if you want to do kind of the zenithal, then paint it with transparent paints using that yellow, you need to do your zenithal with kind of a brown up to maybe an ivory to get the best effect out of it. Or you just need to paint it over white. Stephen, if he's still about, he's using it as a glaze, and that can work to add a little bit of depth to a colour. But you've got to be careful. If you put it over anything even vaguely grey, it just comes out this really nasty green colour. I haven't tried any of the others. I've literally just arrived. Have I tried the others? I've tried the new magenta. That was alright. That's not bad. And I've just got Gargarax Sewer and Sigvold Burgundy. Literally arrived today. Have a little play with. Because I like contrast paint. Everything I do is a speed paint. You know, even this job here, I've been given 2 hours to do it. Oh, Rezi was in the chat. Hey, Rezi. I like the Mortarian Grime Wash. I saw that. You were doing some skulls with it, and it looked pretty good. So, back to the silver. Work on this icon again. This is supposed to be like the most worn out thing ever, so I'm not too worried about the fact that I'm going to get a lot of this silver on the red. I just want it kind of that there was red there once. And we'll take that up to the next silver. Brushes a quick clean, and then we'll on to the next stage, which is washing and weathering. Yeah, that and some other wing details on that chaplain kind of reminds me of an ivory look. Yeah. This is an interesting one, this, because I never wash. I say never. I almost never use washes. I prefer to control things, but when I'm trying to do this model particularly, I need to do it fast. So I'm going to play with some washes. I'm also in the process, hoping to finish it before I have to move, of making a video on pin washing. A couple of people have asked me about how I pin wash stuff and how I panel line. So I've just bought a couple of bits, and I'm going to do some panel lining examples and some different products, because whilst I don't do a lot of washing, I do a lot of panel lining. And I've got a stack of products and that I use for that. Like, yeah, this is a panel liner, this is an AK one, and then we've got MIG ones, oil paints, all sorts. So we're going to do a little bit of experiment to play with those. Play with some oils and that in a minute as well. It'll be fun. Right. Before I go too deep down that rabbit hole, I'll do his base separately later. Work on him first. So I need some crappy brushes. What's the model today? Today, Rezi, I am working on this. Now, this is a PZM Smiali, which is a model that was came in a collector's edition of a game called Iron Harvest. There's a box for it. With like an art book and things like that. So it was a metal kit. There is a lot of pinning, there was a lot of filling, and now there is some painting. I thought it'd be fun to do something a bit weird. So this is just mineral spirits, and then we're going to start using some oils. I'm not the biggest fan of these products. This is the Soilworks Oil Wash. But they do dry quite quickly. And I think for this product, they will work quite well because they're very thin. Which means that although I haven't glossed this or anything, it should still pull around on it nicely. Turkey baster. I'm wondering if it would be worthwhile to switch from pin washing with Agrax to pin washing with a dull brown acrylic paint. Honestly, probably not. There's not a lot of difference except that the Agrax, especially the new one, is formulated to do that. Whereas a thinned acrylic paint, the surface tension is actually quite high on it. So it won't work amazingly for that. Now, if you're going to say, is it worth pin washing with Agrax or like an oil paint, like I'm using here, then I would say absolutely. But yeah, thinning acrylics has a very different effect. Tezab, greetings fellow brush lickers. Greetings Tezab. Yeah, you're among friends here, although don't lick this brush, I've done it. Oil paint tastes disgusting. Like really bad, and might be poisonous, I'm not sure. I mentioned earlier about the golden paints, and a lot of those are like mega poisonous. Which is what scares me from buying them. I don't need any cadmium in my diet, and lead poisoning will not go well. Too bad we normally paint so late on the Discord by UK time. You could join us, Tony. Yeah, I would love to, mate. It's just that it's so late. By the time you start painting on the Discord, I am well in bed. I mean, here at the moment, it is 10 to 10. And as normal, I'll paint till about 11 and then I'll be packing up. Watched Predator 2 last night. Underrated movie. Ooh. Is it underrated? That's the one with Danny. Is it the one with Danny Glover in? Because it's the one where there's a predator in the city, isn't it? It doesn't have Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, which is immediately a downside. Because Arnold Schwarzenegger makes a movie better by a factor of 10. And Kurt Russell makes it better by a factor of 20. I am biased. Danny Glover is Predator 2. I'm hesitant to use oil paint since I've read probably millions of safety warnings on organic chemicals and working in the lab. Yeah, that's why I'm scared of those golden paints. Just don't eat them. The other alternative is the enamel-based products. So, like AK makes them. So these streaking panel liners and that are enamel-based. And whilst they're not as good as the oil-based ones, they are a lot better than the acrylic-based ones. Maverick, wife and kids are away, so catching up beer and 80s movies. God, can't be better than that. Arnold's Predator 1. It also has Jesse Ventura toting around him. It does, yeah, and some of the best lines ever. I ain't got time to bleed. Predator 2's got a good ending. Yeah, it does. Oh, Shamak's in the chat. Predators get Danny G and Old Pistol. Give. Yes, it is. Hello, mate. Nice to see you. Can you imagine if Kurt Russell had done a Predator movie back then? It would have been amazing. Pistol sets up prequel in the 18th century. Really? Oh, is that the new one? Prey or whatever. I haven't seen that yet, Shamak. Is that any good? Can you imagine if Kurt Russell had yeah. Snake and Dutch Awesome. Knuckin' Futz. Welcome, Knuckin' Futz. Haven't seen you for a while. Lovely to have you back. Robert Watson, the reason that the Predator never tried to hunt Snake Plissken or Jack Burton is simple. It wouldn't be fair for the Predator. You are absolutely right. And you know what Jack Burton always says. Next time we do one of these like movie things, I'm dressing as Jack Burton. Right, that's looking all right. So let's let that dry for a moment. The other beautiful thing about these oil washes, I don't normally like them that much, because they're so thin, but they dry way quicker than the normal oil paints I use. I normally use these oil brushes, which are quicker, or just literally Winsor & Newton oil paint. And these are my favourite. These I get the best finish with, but they take at least 24 hours to dry, and that's a pain in the arse. First Predator is such a tight film, one of the greats. You can hardly blame Predator 2 for not being as good. You can't, no. And I like the fact they tried to do something different. They didn't just try and remake it. Robert Watson, Prey is okay, but a bit far-fetched in comparison with the other Predator movies. Are you talking about the other new Predator movies, though? Because they are just awful. Prey sort of subverts the original story of that pistol Danny Glover has given. That was already detailed in Dark Horse comics like over 20 years ago. I haven't read all the Dark Horse Predator books. I've read a lot of the Alien ones. Maverick, Terminator is the best 80s film ever. Obsessed with that movie. It is an amazing movie, but I think Terminator 2 is better. It was just, you know, 90s. Right, while that's drying, what do we need to do? I need to wash my brush. And put the oil thinners away. Alright, I'll admit with Terminator 2 that it had that annoying bit with the kid, and it was that kind of period, late 80s, early 90s, where they felt that every movie needed a child in it for no apparent reason. But other than that, it had the cool motorcycle chase. The villain was scary. It had the best one. Like, if you think, think of the one-liners from the first one. There weren't any. Reziel, T2 is better. That and Wrath of Khan might be the best sequel movies ever. Better than the originals. What about Aliens? I know it's a different movie to the first one, but it is arguably better. Arnie was the best bad guy ever. Arnie's so good. He's really underrated. You know, when we were making that 80s TV episode, 80s movies episode, I was looking, genuinely looked back at that episode today because I was visiting my mum and we were talking about Conan, and Conan's such an underrated movie because he's such a physical actor. So this is the AK enamel panel liner. I'm just using a little bit of this just to add a bit of detail. because the oil wash we used was kind of a brown colour. This is a grey colour. I'm just mixing a little bit of this in here and there. What I want is to try and get a nice depth of different colours going on. So if turkey base is still about, this is the stuff that I recommend if you don't want to use oils or panel lining. Because this is an enamel based product and it works really, really well. And because it is a panel liner, it's much thinner and the capillary action works a lot better. Apparently in T2, Robert Patrick kept catching the kid on his dirt bike. Oops. Was babysitting some 5-year-old back then, and we let him watch Terminator 2 on VHS. Empire Strikes Back is better than New Hope. Yeah, it is. Resi prefers Alien to Aliens. It's a different movie, isn't it? Conan is glorious. Yeah, it is. I even liked Red Sonja. I like the comics for Red Sonja. Hey, Foz, welcome. Peter Kosterman, Alien versus Aliens is like comparing apples to oranges. Both are awesome in their own right. They absolutely are. And I love both movies. I even like Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. I don't think they're as good a movie, but they're a product of their time. You think when Alien Resurrection came out, that was the same sort of time as things like Batman and Robin, and it was that kind of very goofy 90s time. And Alien 3 was very depressing, same sort of time as things like Schindler's List and all that miserable stuff. The Alien movies all just really capture the time that they're made. Even the first Alien had that kind of almost hope, I want to say, with the future and the real hard sci-fi. Tamiya makes similar panel liners, also great. Yes, I have seen that they do, and I've wanted to try them, but they've been out of stock for a while. So I will give them a go. Tamiya paints can be actually a little tricky to get hold of in the UK sometimes. You can end up paying a lot of money for them. Because I picked up a new clear red today, because that's been out of stock for a little while. Don't forget the brutality from Commando, which is arguably the most underrated Arnie movie. I don't know if it's the most underrated Arnie movie. It's a good Arnie movie. I think something like maybe Junior or Kindergarten Cop or Twins. I think it was his comedies that are really underrated. The police station scene in Terminator is brilliant. He absolutely is. It really comes across as completely unstoppable, doesn't he? And I enjoy the 4 Alien films. They absolutely decline. And the new ones are just awful. All I've seen of Terminator is the new. Oh, Cesario, you've got to watch the rest. They're incredible. Well, I say the rest. Watch the first one and watch the second one and then stop. Just forget anything else happened. Conan is good because we all learn about the Riddler Steel. And what is best in life, yeah. Mark loves that gif. Kindergarten Cop was one of the best one-liners. It's not a tumour. Kindergarten Cop's a great film. My wife, English isn't her first language, and I was showing her Kindergarten Cop a little while ago because it doesn't matter. It's still funny. I have a store that stocks Tamiya, so it's not too bad for me. Some I still need to order. Last Action Hero, that's a great film. I love Mako in Conan, yeah. Put the cookie down. Sorry. Yeah, I've somehow managed to dodge pretty much all Arnie movies. Not even intentionally. You've missed out, mate. Has anyone seen Prey? I've not yet. Wonder if it's worth a go. Yeah, but I haven't seen it yet either. I do want to, though. Jim Carroll. Yeah, there are only 2 Terminators. Exactly. We'll pretend that we stopped there. Right, I want to add a bit more interest because I've copied the art, I think, quite well on this. But I still think it could do with a little bit more... It's a bit boring, isn't it? Let's put some weathering on there. So for this, we're going to turn back to... I can find them, the Dirty Down products. Let's put some rust and some that and verdigris and that in there. So these are incredible, but they are a bit of a pain in the arse to use. True Lies is good. Oh yeah, that's another one that we forgot. Maverick, Prey's okay. Storio, heard good things about Prey, not seen it myself. Yeah, I haven't yet. I do want to. Predator's inspiring me to build a Terminator with an assault cannon. Gotta have at least one sexual tyrannosaur in my army. Yes, you do. And he needs to have that written on him somewhere as well. I'd say Prey is the second best Predator. I've heard Prey is so-so, certainly not terrible. I've heard mixed things. Some people really like it and other people are not quite so impressed. I really wanted to build... I've got Slime Arbo and I really wanted that special Cassichan Lieutenant they made, because I had this idea of building a Predator kill team. I just thought that would be incredible, but I just couldn't get him anywhere. How about Pumping Iron? Oh, that's left field. Good though. True Lies is so entertaining. Question though, I suspect I know the answer. Which James Cameron movie is better? Aliens. Hands down Aliens. True Lies is great, but Aliens was really quite... Aliens had a much longer impact on the world at whole. Make the green stuff hat. Yeah, absolutely. Resi was upset that Predator 2 was treated as worse than Prey. Collateral with Tom Cruise is massively underrated. Yeah, I don't mind Tom Cruise, but he gets a lot of stick. Like, my wife hates him for some reason, and my mum does as well. I think he's alright. Maybe it's a Scientology thing that upsets him. Jingle All the Way with Arnie's good. Yeah, it is. Favourite James Cameron film is The Abyss. That's a good film. Yeah, and it's not one that you see talked about very often these days. I want to concentrate on putting the rust around his feet, because I can see them getting the most amount of kind of exposure to the elements, because they're going to be trudging through a kind of Eastern European swampy hellhound all of the time. So I can see his feet getting quite rusty. And the thing is that this will just add another colour to the model, because the concept dark colours are a little bit boring, really. Please, can you keep your paint on camera when you shake it, or my girlfriend is going to judge me. That's something I've not heard, but that is quite funny. I was trying to, genuinely, it's because I normally use my little vortex mixer when I haven't got it, and I was trying to keep it away from the mic as much as I could. these sort of feet panels as well. Feet panels? What the fuck is a feet panel? Ladder. I mean ladder feet panel. Mental. Let's see what else we've got going on. Bloody hell. He's a weird guy for sure, but pretty much all Hollywood people are a little off in some ways. Yeah, of course they are. In a good way, usually. I don't forget that far. I always hear my lady friends complain they don't like Tom Cruise's centre tooth. Oh, okay, yeah. I can see that. His weapon handling collateral was perfect. His weapon handling a lot of things is perfect. I saw an interview with Simon Pegg and he was talking about him in Mission Impossible, saying just how nice a person he was. Michael Biehn is super cool. He absolutely is. For weapon handling, it's got to be Keanu Reeves at the top. He puts in so much effort, doesn't he? I wonder if you could get action figures of the Predator at 40k scale to convert. What is it you said? Kill Team Predator Team? That sounds bad as... Yeah, it does. I think it'd be wicked. There is a Predator miniatures game that is 28mm, but the miniatures are cast in like nasty sort of like PVC. I'm hoping to find some higher quality ones. I don't know about Keanu, that's certainly a great recent example, but there's a metric ton of great ones. Pick a John Woo flick. Yeah, but a lot of John Woo flicks also did the thing with the million bullets out of the guns, never reloading. So, best weapon handling and movement in a movie is hands down Heat. Really? Heat? Right, so that's a bit of rust on there. Let's start getting some verdigris in there as well, just to represent some electronic parts. Look, I'm shaking it on screen now, look, but see, I think this is worse. I think this is a lot worse than doing it off screen. There's that new Netflix vampire hunting flick. It's got a lot of wick in it. I haven't seen that. What's that called? Not an Oscar-worthy movie, but I like it well enough for what it's aimed to be. I also want to watch The Terminal List. I haven't had a chance to watch that yet. And that looks like something I'm really going to enjoy. A few giggles here and there. Snoop Dogg's a vampire hunting cowboy. That sounds wicked. Chamak. Yeah, so Lawrence, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to be doing that off screen. Otherwise, I think Shamak might have a little bit of a heart attack. Equilibrium. That's an amazing film. That was one of... I think it's an underrated sci-fi movie, that. The only thing that I didn't like about Equilibrium is the whole thing is that they aren't allowed to show any emotion and that actually the type some of them already were feeling, but there's bits all the way through the movie where people are getting angry and stuff like that. And it just feels that if they're not allowed to show emotion, how come they always seem to be showing emotion? Just always weird. I love that film so much. But yeah, there's a few bits in it where I swear they're showing quite a lot of emotion. Quick, someone clip Tony shaking paint and make a gif. Yeah, I know. It's bad. Mav, yep, Heat has the best movie cover fire move shoot I've ever seen. Close I've seen to Real Tactics. Nice. Day Shift. Oh, look that up, because that sounds like the sort of thing that I would enjoy. I love a bit of a silly movie. Equilibrium's a movie you enjoy despite its flaws. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Speaking of divisive sci-fi, I enjoyed Equilibrium and I Will Die on This Hill. I think it's a great film. I don't think you're going to get many... I haven't seen anybody slag it off yet, to be honest, Cesario. Everyone who seems to quite like it, which is weird, but also awesome. Maybe it says something about the sort of people that might watch a painting stream on a Tuesday night. So I'm quite pleased with the way that this is looking. I'm going to put it down for a second. Where's my art book? My art book. This isn't mine. I borrowed this to... This was the reference picture I was given. as I asked for a reference. So here's our reference. Actually, let's use this way darker one. There's our reference picture, if that's coming up. And there's our model. I think that's pretty close. So I can get it on screen. I think we're pretty close with that, to be honest. I'm feeling quite good about that. My mind did a find and replace on Equilibrium. I meant Elysium. Oh, Elysium. That was a Tom Cruise one, wasn't it? Is that the one where he's like trapped on a planet on his own? He's got the like mech suit thing. Event Horizon, another great sci-fi film. Absolutely scary. Sam Neill in that makes a fantastic bad guy. I hope not all of mine are chains fist. Another one people hate and I loved, Sunshine, Fight Me. I thought Sunshine was alright. It wasn't one of my favourites. Right, well, I think I'm going to leave this guy for now and I'm going to start working on that base. Matt Damon, actually. Oh, right, was it? I quite like Matt Damon, so that's a plus point for me, to be honest. You don't see him in enough stuff. I think he ended up being a bit typecast after The Bourne Identity. Right, so we're going to cheat with this and we're going to use Sterling Mud. And I'm going to need some sort of rubber brush. Latex brushes, where did I put you? Everything is an absolute tip at the moment where I'm moving things around to leave. Oh, there. I'm going to use a latex brush and some sterling mud. Have you tried that Dirty Down Rust? I had a tad trouble so far getting to create the brighter spots. Yes, in fact you watched me do it a minute ago, Reziel. If you look on his feet, this is all the Dirty Down Rust that I've literally just used on it. To get it brighter, what you want to do is mixing, when you've put it on there, thin it down with a little bit of water and it will come up brighter. So that's the Dirty Down Rust there, look. So yeah, thin it down a bit and it will come up brighter. I've intentionally not done that on this model because I don't want bright orange rust. I just want a few dull spots. Any Lovecraft inspired movies also in my book. Yeah, I like the cosmic horror. I've not seen The Martian, but I did read the book. Enjoyed that one quite a bit. Film's great. I once drank too much at I want to say it was a party. It was just myself and some other physics teachers. We sat around, drank a bit much, watched The Martian, and then we did the maths to check it. Which is the sort of sad thing that physics teachers do at a party. It was a good day, actually. Good night. Another Damon thing. Yeah, it's Damon in that. Jim liked Elysium. He was also trapped in a planet. Interstellar's a film that I really didn't like. That was just stupid. That's not how relativity works. That annoyed the crap out of me, Interstellar did. Elysium and Edge of Tomorrow, two contemporary sci-fi flicks with stars in power harness. Hard to blame a mix-up. Yes, that was a bit like when End of Days and The Sixth Day come out. Two sci-fi films, both starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know they were very different, but if you just the names were so close. Man's gotten stuck on planets twice. I feel like he should stay on Earth for his own safety. Yeah, almost certainly. I've not moved to my new place, Foz, which is why I'm actually streaming. Because on the stream last week, I said this was going to be the last one. And then on the Wednesday afterwards, I got my move delayed by a few days. So I now move on Friday. So what I'm actually doing is I'm streaming tonight. We're recording a Grots episode tomorrow, We normally record every other Thursday, but we're going to record it early because my internet's going to get switched off by the end of the week. But unfortunately, the internet on the new place doesn't get turned back on until the 1st. So I very much doubt, but I know I won't be streaming next week. Hopefully I'll stream the week after. Which will be good, because that means I'm only missing one. And if I can find some time to make my video, I'm going to try and make a video on pin washing techniques and products that I can release next Tuesday instead of the stream. Aldemar, what a neat looking mini. Yeah, I think it's cool. Kind of wish it was mine. I haven't played the game that it goes with, but I love the model. And I love the art as well. It looks fantastic. I don't know if it's been picked up by the microphone, but my cat is going ballistic outside the door because the door is shut. It's quite funny. She crashed the lore episode that Mark and I did. It would have come out last week. She does not like not being involved in things. I've got these rubber brushes off of Amazon and they're well worth the cost. They weren't expensive and they're very handy for this sort of thing. I'm just trying to work like this texture paint around. We're just trying to get a really realistic look on this. End of Days was alright. It was alright, yeah. I did see Total Recall though. Quickly jumping back to Arnold. Yeah, I like the original Total Recall. I thought the new one was alright. It's closer to the book, but it doesn't have the heart and soul of the original film with Arnold. And that's the one with the lady with 3 boobies. I actually enjoyed the other Tom Cruise sci-fi romp from that time period. Which one was that? Oblivion. Yes, that's all right. Tony, do you teach high school physics? Yes. It's not quite the same here. I teach, but it's the same kind of thing. So my students are between 11 and 19. So I teach physics mostly. I also teach other sciences to the younger kids and a bit of maths as well. But spoken to the older ones, I'm a physics teacher. I have one movie I didn't like that got me banned from this chat. The OG Blade Runner wasn't very enjoyable. Fuck off, Cesarian. Is that a bit harsh? How can you not like the original Blade Runner? Jesus Christ. Thought you were cool, man. I thought you were cool. Oblivion. I could say that one wouldn't be for everyone. Yeah, it was alright though. What game's it from? It's from a game called Iron Harvest. I've actually got the game, I just have never played it. It's a tactical, it's an RTS. Like alternate history kind of thing. Like Second World War but with mechs. Tiger Base are bringing the cat. I'm not, because she'll knock all of this. I don't like having the cat in here when I'm using oils. Oblivion was awesome from a visual perspective, and sometimes all you need is eye candy movie. Yeah, it was beautifully shot. Same vein with Pacific Rim. Yeah, I thought Pacific Rim though had a decent storyline as well. The second one was awful. The story was a bit meh in Oblivion though. Yeah, it was. Evening, Daniel. What are the main benefits of rubber brushes? Just durability. I have a hair in synthetic but not rubber. So this is one of my rubber brushes, and it's not so much that I don't use it for painting minis. What I do use it for though is things like texture paints and that. Because rather than using a spatula, which is a hard surface, because this is quite flexible, you can really work it in and you can sculpt it with it, which is really quite handy. It's also brilliant when you're doing things like a milliput or filling, and you can just get a really nice smooth coat. So I use these mostly for doing all my basing and that, where I want to work with things like textures. Paul Verhoeven is just chaotic energy personified. Yeah, he is. And he made some amazing movies. Bring it on. You're bigger than me. Pacific Rim 2 does not exist. Absolutely. Evening, David. Welcome to the stream. We're painting this weird video game statue thing, which is going quite well, I think. James Richards, good evening, brothers. Good evening, Primark. Good evening, James Richard. You are welcome to join us tonight. We're mostly arguing about movies at the moment. We found out that Cesario doesn't like Blade Runner, and that's why he's wrong. Residual's taste is a little bit iffy at times. Annihilation was interesting, more sort of disturbing than good. There's also basically no story. Yeah, there isn't. And I don't know why they just did away with all the cool people from the first movie. First movie was fun, and then they just got rid of all the people and had a completely different cast. I just thought that was weird. Right, we need to do these rocks. What colour are we going to do the rocks? I think I want some sort of greyish colour. Still haven't got a wet palette, so it's back to the glass palette. And then I want some sort of grey colour. Mad Max Fury Road was fun. It was. I liked it. I think it's my third favourite Mad Max film. I like the first one because it was cool. The second one was amazing. Road Warrior I think still is the best. And then I think it's Fury Road. I think it's better than the third Mad Max film with P. Goldberg. I really do. That'll do. So we've got some Eclipse Gray. We'll start with that. Top Gun Maverick was amazing. Yeah, that is a great film. I thought that was very good. I thought it was a fitting new version. It didn't throw away what was cool about the original, and it modernised it in an interesting and fun way. So I think they did that absolutely spot on. Get my old Squidmar brushes out. There's my giant brush. Check out this monster that I'm using. I love this brush. Do all sorts with it. I tried liking it, even watched the damn thing 3 times. Watch it a 4th. It just wouldn't click with me. Original Blade Runner is probably my favourite movie of all time. It's one of mine. It's not my taste is iffy, Tony. You and I are on that OG Kurt Russell, John Carpenter kick. Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking of Mark's. Mark's taste is super iffy. You can't trust Mark with anything with movies. He's never seen Full Metal Jacket. David Bain, I'm 36 and not seen Blade Runner. I need to get around to it. You seriously do. I love how they didn't single out a country as the enemy. Yeah, I think that was quite neatly done as well. Because you don't really think about it. They just didn't make a big deal out of that. I think that was very neatly done, actually, thinking about that. An F-14 would get absolutely manhandled by an Su-57, though. Yeah, absolutely. As cool as they are, that is an old plane. water, to be honest. That one's getting a bit lived in. Yeah, I was good in the new Top Gun. Yes, you were, Mav. You were very good. It was just a nice, this is how I saw it. Yeah, it was very well done. The first one is so slow, though. Are we still talking about Top Gun here, or are we talking about Blade Runner? It's not the plane, it's the pilot. Yeah. Some films and stories just move at slower paces. If they're made well, I often prefer that. Sometimes. Original Top Gun is similarly ambiguous about where the concluding air battle takes place and who the opposition are. Yeah. Gladiator, also one of my all-time favourites. Brilliant movie. Reminds me, I've got some tickets to book. What are you going to go and see, Mark? OG Blade Runner is telling its story in every frame with design and what exists, even when no one's saying anything. Yeah, it was shot. I mean, some people say it's more about the shooting than the story, and I can understand that. Full Metal Jacket, excellent, absolute masterpiece. Blade Runner's a masterpiece. I was referring to Mad Max. Oh yes, yeah, it was. I think Beyond the Thunderdome hasn't aged amazingly, if I'm honest. I'm going to use a brighter grey now, just to put a little bit of dry brushing. Didn't they make a sequel with Ryan Gosling? Yeah, they did. And it was a beautiful film to look at. The storyline was a bit meh. And it did bring back Harrison Ford, which I liked. But it was a stunning film to see from a visual point of view. I went to the IMAX to see that film, and it was absolutely mind-blowing on the big mega screen. But the storyline was pretty forgettable. It was kind of like he thought that he was a real boy, but actually wasn't a real boy. And, yeah. And Rachel had a baby with Harrison Ford, who actually now isn't a replicant because Ridley Scott can't make his mind up on that. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing, I just realised. Just mixing a couple of greys together to make kind of a bit of a mid-tone. Most of that off, and then we'll just start putting a bit of that in there. This whole model has just been stippling and dry brushing and washing. There's been almost no kind of traditional paintery techniques on this at all. Which has been quite fun actually, because it's just different, isn't it? Normally I concentrate so much on getting things accurate and whatnot, and this is just all about textures. Get as many different textures as I can. Issue with the F-14 against 5th gen fighters is the newer IR missiles and high AOA 5th gen fighters can pull means that Tomcat can't dogfight with strength. No, it can't. It would just get shot down. James Richard died COVID a few weeks ago and had the unusual desire to watch Rush Hour. Bought it on DVD from CEX, wasn't disappointed. I like Rush Hour. My wife won't watch it because she doesn't like Jackie Chan. Because apparently he cheated on his wife and she can't have that. So she won't watch Rush Hour with me. I quite liked it. Lord of the Rings trilogy is re-showing in IMAX in the next few days. So I'm going to take advantage. Yeah, I'd do that. If I wasn't moving house and it was showing near me, I'd definitely go and see that. Love the Lord of the Rings. Viggo Mortensen is just Aragorn in my mind. I don't think anybody else could play him now. No, Rachel wasn't. No, she was a replicant. 2049 as Rachel be human. Well, they could piss off that. No, she was a replicant, but the whole point of replicants was that they were still kind of biological, so they could theoretically, if they loved each other, have children. That was kind of the story. They had like half human, half replicant baby, which was really cool, but yeah. The thing was, Ridley Scott couldn't make his mind up whether Deckard was a replicant or not, because in the original cut he wasn't, then it was another cut and he was, and then there was a third cut and he was, and a fourth cut and he wasn't, and then this new movie come out and he wasn't, so whatever. Yeah, like Cylons. How does a replicant carry a baby? It's biological, mate. It's got a womb. It's like a remaking of a human, just perfect. Lord of the Rings is probably one of the best movie trilogies ever. No special effects that don't hold up. Solid adaptation of the books, plus a 12-hour endurance version, which is always fun to watch. It's absolutely... yeah, that's absolutely true. I think because they use so many practical effects as well, it dated really well. It's absolutely canon that she's a replicant. Tyrell states it as a fact to Deckard. That's some retcon nonsense. Someone needs to keep Ridley away from the back catalogue. Yeah, so in 2049, she's still a replicant, but it doesn't make it that clear in the first film that the replicants are almost like, rather than being mechanical, they are genetically made. So they're made out of biological material. So they're just like better bones. Think Space Marines, you know, higher bone density, stronger muscles in a smaller package. They're like better humans, is the idea. So theoretically, if she was made as a better human, she thought she was human, that meant that she had all the functions of a human, just improved, and a shorter lifespan. So the story was that her and Deckard run away, and because they have a baby and it's kind of half human and half replicant. Now what Ridley couldn't leave alone was whether he wanted Deckard to be a replicant as well, because in the various cuts of the original movie, the ending kept changing subtly, which implied that he was or wasn't a replicant depending on what version you made or watched, which was just very confusing. Yeah, the whole point of the story in Blade Runner Electric Sheep is the audience should never explicitly know the answer to Deckard's origin. Yeah, and that was the point, and it was supposed to be kind of edgy, but yeah, it was Ridley Scott being Ridley Scott with the first one. He couldn't leave it alone. He kept doing a George Lucas. Yeah, and like George Lucas, he needed to leave it the fuck alone. Right, let's use a bit of this Dirty Down again and put some moss on this base to make this a bit more interesting looking. We're shaking off screen again because otherwise it looked weirdly suggestive. Gents gotta go. Might jump in Discord voice chat later. Wicked. See you later, Mav. It's been lovely having you here. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one, which will be in a couple of weeks. I like this Dirty Down stuff, but it wrecks your brushes. Don't use any brush that you care about, even a little bit. Because this is full of chunks now. And I did rinse it all out, but just clearly not well enough. You're also supposed to warm up the model a bit, and I haven't because I've packed my hairdryer. Will affect how these mossy things work. I want this to look like a horrible swampy mess. Maybe I'm getting confused, but I'm pretty sure the essence of the original is that replicants are built for a purpose and limited lifespan. I assume they would all therefore be sterile. Yeah, it kind of hints that they are, but it doesn't... Yeah, it's that whole kind of weird God Messiah thing that love can find a way or whatever. Or life can find a way. Let's go fully Ian Malcolm with it. Interesting, but reinforces my belief I'm better off skipping 2049. 2049 is not a great movie for its story. It doesn't make sense in a lot of places. It's a great movie for its sound design, which was incredible. Hans Zimmer did a great job picking up where Vangelis left off. And it's a great movie for its visual effects. It's a beautiful movie. It's the kind of one that you buy for the art book and you put it on the wall to inspire your paint jobs. It's not about quality of like, yeah, movie, if that makes sense. It's just cinematography is astounding. Yeah, exactly, Cesario. I saw it in IMAX as well, and it might be the best film I ever saw in IMAX, just because it blew my mind for how it looked. Fury Road, yeah, Fury Road was a stupendous visual kind of thing going on, wasn't it? So I quite like that. Should we put a little bit of like tufting on there as well? I think that could be a laugh. Let's find some tufts. So luckily I do have my basing box, even if I haven't got all my tools. So I want something a bit flock. Nah, it's too... Oh, this is some horrible looking flock. That might be... Yeah, no, it won't work. I think I might actually skip looking at these. I mean, that's not bad. That's too dry. Dagda Vangelis Genius, yes, he absolutely was. I was really genuinely sad when he died recently. Looking at it, I think I'm going to leave the tufts off. I think it's going to work better without. I do need to reinforce some of the shading though here and there, so we're going to get on with that, and then we're going to start cleaning up that base, and then that's probably going to take us to the end. You need the flocking that channels the feeling of depression. It's Poland after, exactly. The band he was in, Aphrodite's Child, are amazing. I don't think I ever listened to Aphrodite's Child really. I listened to a lot of Vangelis's solo albums. I've got some of them on vinyl because I'm a hipster. But I don't think I ever really listened to... I didn't listen to his band. Brushes at it. Bloody dirty down. Ruined your brushes. Yeah, Destiny's Child. Very similar thing. They're still around. They can't be, right? My mum went to the Camping and Caravanning Club annual kind of festival thing, and Westlife and Boyzone were playing there, and all I could think was, bloody hell, they've come a long way. You know, they used to be headlining things, and now they're going to the Camping and Caravanning Summer Bash. So it is a real come down, isn't it? I saw S Club when I was a student, but they were S Club 4 when I saw them, because the other 3 members of S Club 7 had left. So there was just 4 of them hanging around. Reinforcing the shading, really. A little bit more. Keith Duffy is the face of a car tyre company now. How far can you fall? We shouldn't laugh because you never know, that could always happen to any of us. But it is still a bit funny. We're getting that. Nearly put it in my water pot. Wouldn't be the first time. Stephen S. Tony, I keep popping in and out, and wow, it's one good looking model for a single sit down so far. Oh, cheers, Stephen. I've only got 2 hours to finish this guy, so he's a bit of a speed paint. If I say he's a bit of a speed paint, he's an absolute speed paint. And I'm quite pleased with him, actually. I thought that I was going to do either a shit job or need to spend more time on him. He's probably getting paid more to shift tyres than I do. Yeah, well, to be fair, it's because he works for a tyre selling company, and I don't know that you do. You know, he's definitely getting paid more than I am. I wouldn't mind being the face of a car company. It might still pay great. Exactly. Speed painting is a skill on its own. Cheers, Stephen. It's something that I really enjoy. It's absolutely something that I really enjoy, actually. And I have more fun doing that, I think, nowadays than I used to when I was trying to display paint everything. Right, we need some black paint. Have I got any black paint? I must have black paint. I do. Vallejo model colour black. Me too. It's just, yeah, it's just less pressure, isn't there? That's what I like about it. I can get on and paint something and I don't have to worry. It's just about, let's see, what's the best I can do in X time frame. Why'd I put my nice brush? Brush, brush, brush. Everything's missing and lost and confusing. Rest of you, I really enjoy single models. Oh, I do sometimes. It's nice to mix it up, isn't it? But I also really enjoy just seeing how much I can achieve in a period of time. Yeah, since we started doing the Grots and we do the Pile of Glory, I'll admit that I have a lot of fun when we do Pile of Glory, just being like, well, this week I've managed to paint all of this stuff. Although this week on Pile of Glory, there's going to be a lot less stuff. Because, well, I'm moving house. So I've painted bugger all, really. It's up a bit. I'm not going to repaint the whole thing because it is black. And it is pretty clearly black. It's a good black as well. But I don't want the finish to be too different. So I'm going to just sort of feather out the edges. Hopefully we'll get away with it. We'll see what happens. Anyways, gotta go. I'll re-watch it all later, guys. See you. I've just washed this brush in the wrong paint pot, and now it tastes of enamel. Doesn't do your brushes any good as well. This is a proper venerable brush. This is an heavy metal brush. This has got to be 10 years old. And I think I need to wait for that to dry, but I think I'm just tinkering now. So let's get that other brush. We're gonna stipple really. It's kind of feather out the edges on some of this dirty down stuff because it looks a bit glossy. And I'm going to get the pigments out and we're going to be finished. $7.99 subs, hey? Yeah, I know. I was quite excited about that. Nearly at that 800 mark. is not bad considering it was just us two on the last episode. That's a relic brush. Yeah, absolutely it is. I have to pay a CP every time I use it. I do not lick my brushes. Tony, do you see Juan Hidalgo's disgustingly creepy and hilarious brush licking vid? I did not know, but I do that all the time. In fact, I just licked this one, which is the one I use for that dirty down stuff. That's really nasty as well. I've got to stop it.
I have awoken.
Look at that, we got some. I can't tell. Hang on, doesn't let me tell you. I can't tell how many subs we've got, but did that just take us over 800? Because if it did, that is wicked. Cheers, James. That is fantastic. Great news. And it turned out that my notification thing does work, which is also pretty cool. Right, what was I doing? Ah, yeah, pigments. Haven't got any. Must do. What do we think? Dark Earth, bit of that. Looks pretty muddy, doesn't it? I do have a habit though where I'll lick the back of my hand and run a brush through that's there to clean the tip. I bet that looks weird if someone was watching it. Not that I can judge, but I bet it looks weird. Right, this is a useless brush for what it actually says it is. It's a stippling brush, but it's got the hardest tip, which makes it fantastic for working pigments in. I appreciate being immortalised as a dreadnought with the Dawn of War line. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's wicked, isn't it? John uses some rubbish zombies or something, but when I found out that using the same system I could put custom ones in there, I went to an unreasonable amount of effort to get the sound clip from Dawn of War. I just thought it'd be fun. And I'm a massive child, let's be honest. I mean, apart from the fact that at the age of 35 years old, I'm sitting here messing about with toy soldiers, even though I am a respected member of the community and a school teacher. I love Dawn of War, and I think that those dreadnoughts were fun. Hashtag just a tip, yeah. Kind of like if you lick your hand for shooting tequila. Fair enough. That's something I haven't done for a very long time. I think the last time I did that, I was about 20 on a rugby tour. Let's use some lighter ones as well, just had a bit of variety in there. Which Dreadnought line? I really like the Dreadnought lines from Battle Sector. They were cool. Battle Sector is a great game, but I think Dawn of War has got it beat. On the outside of my Dreadnought drop pod, which I use with my Ironclad generally, I have come to destroy you, which was the line from Dawn of War 2 in the intro video. does that look? I think that's looking alright. Like that. The sound bites from Dawn of War 1 are shit hot, absolutely. Fucking everybody's a critic, says Oreo. I suppose flowery prose about the Emperor has no worth to the man in the metal box. Exactly. I have come to destroy you, I feel sums it up. Right, I'm trying to decide whether I need to seal this pigments in. I could probably get away with it because it's a display piece and it's not going to get handled. But I know where it's getting displayed and I think I need to. So I'm just going to seal it with a bit of isopropyl alcohol. Just like the sound bites from Command & Conquer Division of Warcraft. Yeah, absolutely. Although, to be honest, the sound bites from Command & Conquer, a lot of the Command & Conquers were pretty awesome. I don't remember any from Generals because I don't remember Generals really. But everything up to Red Alert 2 was golden. Right, I need a big fat brush, but I don't want to use a good one. This is going to shred the oil out of it. So we'll use this crappy Citadel wash brush. AKs for everyone. All orcs you say, what you want me kill? And me got axe for you. Seal with IPA. What wizardry is this? It works fine for this. It's not as tough as like if you want to give it a matte varnish or something. But it will seal it. But just sort of a bit of casual handling. And all you do is you just touch a little drop to it and let it soak in. And it'll evaporate off. And it'll be sealed. What it'll also help do is feather the edges a little bit as well, to help it blend in with the rest that's already on there. You've got to be careful though just to drop it on. Don't scrub with it because you'll take the paint off. For the oils, no, it's for the pigments. The yeah, pigment powders, just for the basing. Red Alert 2, we will bury them. Yeah. It was just such a great game, that. I really liked that game. Right. We need to just tidy up a couple of bits where I was a little bit rough and ready with the pigment powders. That's what I was thinking. I use IPA for stripping paint. Yeah, I do too. It's my favourite way of stripping paint. But if you're trying to seal in pigments, it does work quite well. I think it just sort of washes them down into the model itself, and it. I don't really know entirely how it works, to be honest. I was about to say maybe it kind of eats away at the paint ever so slightly, just to allow it to kind of settle in, but it will prevent it from moving around once it's on there. You lose a little bit of that kind of pigment powdery finish, but what you gain is a lot more durability. So if you're doing a gaming miniature, you probably want to seal it with some matte varnish. If you're doing a display miniature, you probably don't want to bother. If you're doing something like this, where it's display, but I can bet that the guy who has it doesn't look after it, it's going to work quite well. I still love the commander from CNC, the Tanya laugh and cha-ching. Oh yeah. And then it's like cha-ching. Oh, yeah, I remember. Such a great game. I remember when the first Red Alert came out and I was blown away by it. I think when that's dry, we'll call that a day. Aldermort. Oh, cool. Good to know. Yeah, it's a handy little tip if you're just in a bit of a hurry. I think I've timed that pretty well considering I'm supposed to be finishing at 10. Imagine the IPA works by partially dissolving the polymerized acrylic medium, which allows the pigment powder to mix with it before the IPA evaporates, leaving only solid. Yeah, something like that. You can, and I haven't played with it much, but I did have a quick play. Use it as a medium for the pigment, and you can mix the pigment directly with IPA and paint with it. But I found it was evaporating very quickly. I have seen some people talking about using that for an airbrush, but I can just see that really clogging up my airbrush super quickly. Do you want to know the really sad thing? I literally don't have any beer, which is why I've drunk a Coke and some water tonight. The perils of moving. So was anybody else painting tonight, or was it just me? Water's good to drink in this weather, yeah, but beer's better. He has mastered the thirst. He's a Primarch after all, yeah. I don't know if I've got the red thirst, but I've definitely generally got the beer first. Mark F, I was building, not painting. What were you building, Mark? I am off alcohol again. A bit sad, but feels good, honestly. I like to do that several times a year. That's fair enough. It sounds a bit weird, but I generally only drink when we stream these days, or if I visit the brewery. I don't really go to the pub because I'm wildly antisocial and too cheap. I glued some legs to bases and a chainsaw to an assault marine. Nice. I've actually got my building project, but I don't think I'm going to get it done. As a preview, because I said I'm going to make some videos, I've bought 3 boxes of these Necromunda bases, and what I'm going to use them for is to show you this pin washing demo. And I've also dug out some Sagittarium upgrade sprues because I need to make some Sagittarium, but again, moving, so I don't know if I'm going to get a chance. I think some Sagittarium will work well for my custodies. Warlocks on foot, converting slightly from the Farseer on foot monopose model. That could be quite cool. Did I see that Warlocks are now not an HQ choice? I'm working on my BA list, technically. Is he working on writing a new list, or is it updating your old list? Take a look at these while I'm sitting there. Need an F. Right, there's an F. I bought a load of those bases for my Deathwatch Overkill box set. They're ridiculously good deals, recall. Yeah, I've got 3 boxes. It comes to about a tenner. So I thought I could use these to demonstrate pin washing. So I've bought these and a tin of bolt gun metal spray, and then I'm going to stick them all down, spray them with bolt gun metal, and then demonstrate some different materials. So what I've got is I've got the I've just fired them everywhere. We've got the oil, well, not that. Where is it? I've lost it now. I've got the panel lining stuff there. We're going to use some Nuln oil, We're going to use some proper oil paints, and we're going to show. I've got two different types of oil paints actually, and then we've got the contrast paint. So I'm going to show you some different ways of, or I like to panel line, and what the difference is between whether you need to varnish them first and things like that. And I just think a few people have asked about that, and I think it might make a nice little video. Trying hard to finish my 3 army list for the recording of our next 3 Grots and a Vox episode, and trying hard to not now want to buy a new army. Are you that excited about Cal Space Marines? I'm excited about recording that episode because I know basically fuck all. Apart from Iron Warriors are ridiculously hard to kill. Abaddon kills everybody in combat. Night Lords are a bit shit. Painting the remaining models to update to the current Nephilim version I was wanting to main. Nice. Warlocks are now elite or slotless. 1 slotless warlock unit per fast in your army. Cool. But I'm actually cleaning up my hobby space again. Well, you can see mine's an absolute tip. Yeah, Zone Mortalis basing set. 40 bases for 11 quid. That's the closest GW will ever get to a bargain, surely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just bought these 32mm ones because I thought if they're all the same, it might make it easier to see. Although I've just thrown them all over the floor, which is going to be annoying. So I'm quite excited to film our Cal Space Marines episode tomorrow. Because like I say, I really don't know an awful lot about them. Night Lords are not shit. They play differently to your average Gur Arg Murder Death Kill army. Don't they rely a lot on leadership mechanics and bollocks like that though, which we all know is super good. And that's why Reaver's a top meta choice. It's an LF. Oh, message retracted. Right. Okay. Let's try and clear some space so we can have a look at this. And then it's going to be time to pack up, I think. So here he is. Sorry, typo. Fair enough. So here he is in his 2-hour finished glory. I'm pretty pleased with that. Muddy base, worn out green, oily, rusty mess. Let's just get the book back out. So there's my reference image I was given, and there's our guy. I think that's pretty close. I'll take that. So, thanks everybody for watching tonight. Thanks for chatting in the chat because we had a couple of quiet ones over the last couple of weeks and I've run out of things to say. I'll see you all in about 2 weeks for a live show, but we should have a Grots episode coming out next Thursday that Mark has been working really hard planning. And John and I have done absolutely fuck all to contribute to. So it's going to be excellent. And I wasn't being sarcastic, I'm being honest there. So I'll try and come in the live chat next week, but I think I'm going to struggle. One of my best friends is a Chaos player, looks great. I'll be very interested in Word Bearers. Yeah, except that Word Bearers are awful. I'm sure in game they're excellent, it's just that they're awful. Lorgar was a whiny bitch. So, leave us a like, leave us a subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in 2 weeks. Cheers, guys. Really, Mark, Word Bearers are your choice lists. That makes me sad. Bye-bye, everybody.